Maggrat Zayda, Unawakened, still wins against Syndrion and Ffraegar. Let's break it down. This is about the stats. It's not about the stats, it's about the synergy. Unawakened efficiency. This may be the first thing that I want to point out. In even 5551, Maggrat Zayda performed better in the Behemoths from the Syndrion and Ffraegar, which it was little sad for me back when I experienced that, because my Zayda is not well builded. She's still like 5111, but my Maggrat is 5551. So from there I actually start using Maggrat with Syndrion when I need some marksmen on the battlefield. But from the reports from other players that have Zayda at least like 5551, Maggrat and Zayda was outperforming my Syndrion and Ffraegar. In even Maggrat 5551, obviously this one I didn't actually open because I don't want to spend some of these medals. Even 5551 and Zayda, that is only with race skill 5, was outperforming my Syndrion and Ffraegar in the Wonk Range Warfare. And I want to point something out. My Syndrion is Awakened 6-star. Now 6-star is adding absolutely crazy value. This is attack resistance and defense penetration. Obviously my Ffraegar is not like this. She's like 4-star. It's not giving nothing, but she's still also awakened. Having one of the most stupid awakenings in Call of Dragons, it's basically just giving 200 extra physical damage. I mean damage factor 200. But yeah, at the end of the day, when Wonk Range Warfare was in the game, I decided maybe I should only run Syndrion with Ffraegar because they're awakened. I have a 6-star hero there. It should be great. But after the reports I start seeing from the people from my alliance, and I saw how good Maggrat and Zayda is performing, I actually test Maggrat Zayda in combination with Syndrion and Ffraegar. Obviously, Syndrion and Ffraegar was almost the same like Maggrat Zayda. Now from there, but keep in mind my Zayda is like 5111. From there I actually decide to maybe test Maggrat because the synergy of Maggrat is crazy. This is a passive skill based on the healing. Whatever you do, normal attack damage, some healing rate, blah blah blah, up to 450% normal attack. And knowing the marksman is having the biggest attack in Call of Dragons, no wonder the people actually focus over Syndrion and Ffraegar and Maggrat Zayda. And this is absolutely great for the Behemoth fights. In the Behemoth fights, you need normal attack there. It's just skill better from the rage skill and having non-good normal attack. And I want to talk little about the synergy, especially for Maggrat Zayda compared to Syndrion and Ffraegar. Awakened units without synergy are often a weaker one. And I can say the Maggrat, even though Syndrion and Ffraegar have crazy synergy. Okay, Syndrion is boosting when he casts his rage skill, is basically giving extra 20% attack and launching additional normal attack. Ffraegar is going to give you the critical rate immediately after Syndrion firing up. And even the critical rate can be boosted even more, by the way, but 60% for 7 seconds. So you see great synergy there. But something that for Maggrat and Zayda beat this synergy is just the damage of the Maggrat and the healing. Whenever the Legion get healing or variable healing, they have a 20% chance to get 40% attack for 3 seconds. Now, if you hit 1 time per second, this is 3 seconds, that means 3 hits. So to trigger this 40%, if you have Sand Lizard, on top of that also Maggrat is having some extra healing. And also we have classes right now like Herbalist that is giving even more healing. We have Tears of Airborne that is giving some healing to the alliance around. We have Mu. We have so many healing is going on in Call of Dragons, and things is continuing going in this direction. like Kuma, the new hero that is presented, is giving some healing, but is draining the enemy, which boosts his HP like a healing. But this is other topic that this is topic for other video. But sustaining on the battlefield, Maggrat and Zayda is just way better from Syndrion and Ffraegar. From the point of damage, if this thing crit, I think the majority of the players in Call of Dragons have seen crazy Maggrat hits, especially in the Quadro rally over somebody castle. Tick for 1 million. This is the biggest one that I have seen. But yeah, the damage of the Maggrat is crazy from point of getting some crit with her passive one that's like 450% normal attack, and the Zayda is just boosting this thing. Where is damage do bonus? Here we get more damage, normal attack bonus, march speed, 1 stack of down when watcher for 10 stacks, which is giving even more normal attack bonus, which is crazy. On top of that is giving some critical. Normal attack critical rate bonus can go up to 25%. Chance to get normal attack focus, increasing normal attack critical rate by 10% for 4 seconds. Okay, this is actually the normal attack critical rate bonus, and at the same time it's normal attack focus. But anyway, I have seen Maggrat crit so much on the battlefield. Now I test Maggrat with Syndrion and Maggrat with Ffraegar and Maggrat with Zayda. The best performance actually for Maggrat come with Maggrat with Ffraegar, especially for the crit and how fast she's killing the enemy units. But at the end of the day, I still think Maggrat Zayda, even though that I don't have the Zayda, is going to perform very nicely on the battlefield. Not only because they're doing very good amount of damage, but tankiness matter. Maggrat Zayda survives longer, which means basically more damage output. If you sit more on the battlefield, you're going to trigger more times your hero's rage skill or passive skill, and you're going to basically do more damage at the end of the day. And obviously it comes to my mind, especially when I play with Maggrat, is Awakening always better? And in case of Maggrat, I don't think is that better, the Awakening. It's just giving you like extra 50% more damage, which, you know, is not something game changing. It's just extra 50% more damage over the passive one, which, you know, is still hitting very strong, but this is like 10% increasing the damage of this thing, something like this. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about a little about Maggrat Zayda and the legions that I was using back in the days, and how I decide actually to go with Maggrat with Syndrion for my marksmans. The main reason for Syndrion is because he's a 6-star. If my Syndrion and Ffraegar was both 6-star, I'm going to pick Ffraegar. But since I already invest a lot in Syndrion, I actually pick bad boy. So yeah, I guess this will for this video, guys. If you have any thoughts, any comments, you want to share some extra information about this video, you can just write it in the comments below. Till then, I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.